Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Touring the Londonverse. I'm your host, ScottBGaming. Today we'll be looking at the Tropical Grapple Kingdom TGK, based out of Puerto Rico. It's quite an entertaining company actually. It's not the biggest, but it's got a very diverse roster and it's a lot of fun to book. I would say that I made it, but it is actually fun. As you can see here, we've chosen James' avatar, you know, the usual things, straight down the centre as far as the stats and abilities. Let's go right in here and we'll have a look at the company's main hub, and here we have it. The size starts at regional, so like I said, quite a small federation, but it is fun all the same. Ranking 21st in the starting data out of 33, $1 million in the account, prestige D-, momentum E+, and the next show is TGK Trouble in Paradise 2015, which takes place tonight, and that is the show we'll be booking later on. But first of all, have to get into the usual bit of business and have a look at the roster. And we start with Afatinamalu. Now, Afatinamalu is a Samoan-born road agent, former big heavyweight. I don't mean he was particularly popular, he was just a big bloke. He's now working as a road agent. He's, he's okay in that department. He's not particularly great. I mean, psychology C, basic C+. It's serviceable for this level of company. I mean, ideally, you probably want to bring in someone with a bit more talent, but he's a old faithful, old trusty worker that back in the day probably did a bit of work actually in Tropical Grapple Kingdom. And in fact, it says in the bio there that he became good friends with the TGK original owner. Obviously, I'm the owner for the purpose of this video, Carlos Mora. So there you go, the road agent for the company. Move on now to Alan Rochester. Experienced wrestler from Portland, Ohio. Where the Portland, Maine. I apologise there for anyone from Portland, especially if you think you're from Portland, Ohio. Have a look at a map. That's not right. We have Alan Rochester, 38 years of age, light heavyweight, heel, bully, great tash. Demeanour is quite intimidating. If we look at his in-ring stats, I mean, he's okay. He's got brawling C+, chain wrestling C. Again, it's a regional company. You're not looking for world beaters. You're looking for people that are serviceable, that can get the job done. Alan Rochester makes up for that. I think very much happy to keep him around the mid-card scene, even though he is, getting up there in years, but we won't hold that against him, at least not yet. Move on now to San Juan's own Apollo Kid, 36 years of age, although Kid's, a bit ironically titled at this point. I guess he's got youthful-ish looks. We'll go with that. He's got the Patriot. He's the Puerto Rican Prince. He's not, but that's a nickname that just flew out of my mouth there, so I've said it now. What are you going to do about it? He's a regular wrestler. He's a mid-carder. I think his skill sets... Yeah, I think that's fair enough. In fact, he'd almost be as good a road agent as Afatinamalu. But for now, mid-card is okay. Maybe upper mid-card at a stretch. Probably not having him as a main eventer. At least I don't think I would. I mean, we'd have to see how things develop and how the storylines go, but very much a serviceable face mid-carder. Here we have Bonesaw, real name David Blunt, 37 years of age, upper mid-card heel, got a bit of an occult gimmick going on there. He doesn't really say much, just kind of got the cartoonish skull, trippy face paint thing going for him. In the ring, not the best. I mean, he's not terrible. His brawling stats are serviceable, and his basics and psychology are actually pretty good, which makes him quite valuable in the upper mid-card scene. I could see him losing to a lot of the top-level faces in the company. Carlos Mora, one of the founding father of Puerto Rican wrestling, according to the bio, plays the role of colour commentator. Yeah, I mean, there's not really too much to say about the bloke. He's a non-wrestler and he's a colour commentator. So yeah, fun times. I think he had a bit of a stroke there by the looks of things with the eye, but I think that was intentional when I did it. Move on now to the very greasy-haired Chico Benitez. Chico Benitez, 26 years of age. He's a cruiserweight, so a bit of a more high flyer. He's an opener though, and apart from his aerial ability, basics and psychology are actually okay. Before I slate the rest of him, he's not that great, but again, 26 years of age, there will be time for him to improve. He's only an opener at the moment, but, age is on his side at the moment with seeing a lot of the other workers on the roster like we've already seen. In fact, all the wrestlers we've seen, their youngest was 36, so he's got 10 years, the junior of all of them. Christian Swiss, lightweight mid-carder, old school face, 27 years of age, and a bit of an all-rounder. Not particularly great in any one area, but, he's got serviceable stats in most departments. So I think it's definitely worthwhile keeping him around, and he's probably again 27 years of age, so he's got time to develop and turn into maybe a bit of a prospect or an underdog story in the company. Someone to keep an eye on, I think would be fair to say. Ernesto Garcia is the announcer. Fire is the tag team partner of Smoke. He's a light heavyweight, power and paint gimmick, upper mid card, a bit of a brawler. Um, Brawling stats are good. Everything else a bit shit, if we're being brutally honest. But basics and psychology, consistency and selling are okay actually. He's not bad. 35 years of age. Again, perfect for the tag team division. As a singles competitor, probably not. But keep him in the tag team division for a while. See how he goes. I'm sure he'll get some good matches with his tag team partner. Move on now to Flip Ramirez. Flip Ramirez is definitely the epitome of a flippy floppy cruiserweight, but he's not particularly superb at it. He's 28 years of age. I think this will probably be the make or break point in his career in terms of the Tropical Grapple Kingdom. I mean, he'll get work elsewhere, I'm sure. He's not terrible, but he doesn't look particularly charismatic. I mean, and he's not. If you look at the stats on the right hand side of the screen, there he's not. But not someone I'd get rid of anyway. I mean, I don't think anyone really on this roster I'd kick out the door. But yeah, he's all right. He's all right. Move on now to Frederick Cool. A young wrestler, 27 years of age. I think one of the more flamboyant-looking members of the roster, and there are a couple of them on here. He would be someone that I'd be looking to get to the main event scene before too long, because he's got a lot of good statistics, and he is quite young as well. So this would be a project for me in Tropical Grapple Kingdom. I do like Frederick Cool. Genocide. Again, talking about unique-looking individuals, and this is one of them. 33 years of age. I think he's just kind of a fun character, really. I mean, well, he's the psycho character, but I think he'd be fun to book. I think somewhere like the Oriental Fight Club or even XCW would be better suited for him, but he's making work as a wild man kind of psycho character down in Puerto Rico, a bit like you see from real world examples. I don't know, did I use words there? I think I used words. Bruiser Brody-esque, I guess, but not obviously look-wise. But I guess we can go with that. I mean, he is a smaller individual as well. He's only a middleweight, so he's not quite Bruiser Brody size. But it's different, and it would be an interesting challenge. I'd be happy to, again, someone I'd want to keep around. I wouldn't want the owner to say don't rehire any psychos, because that would be a bit of a problem in this instance. Move on now to the baseball enthusiast Hideo Nakajima, Japanese by birth, currently working in Puerto Rico, as you could probably guess by the fact that he's in this company. He's an enhancement talent, and his gimmick is that of a baseball fan. So it's very much a case of learning his trade, see if he can get any better. I mean, his aerial's okay, basics and psychology are okay, and all the the mental stats, I guess you'd call them, they're not bad. But as far as longevity in this company, possibly not going to stick around for too long, but I'll give him a fair crack of the whip before I decided what I'd do with him in the long run. Move on now to the TGK Tropical King, and that is Hippolito Colon. Now, Hippolito Colon is 29 years of age, and for the longest time in this data, the AWF would come looking for him quite quickly, and I mean, he's okay. I mean, microphone B, charisma B, in rings all right for the most part. So, but I think AWF now, with the bevy of talent that at the disposable in the game world, at their disposal in the game world, Hippolito Colon looks to stay around a little bit longer, which is nice because he is the beginning and the end of this promotion. Everything's kind of built around him. He's got the teen idol gimmick. He's quite popular with both boys and girls, and I think it'd be hard to make an argument right away to have anyone really take the title off him. There are a couple of people that I like that we'll see later on. The likes of Papa Garcia and Savio Cruz, to name two of them. But definitely someone who I think I'd keep the title on for a fair few months at least. Move on now to Isaiah Guardado. Now, Isaiah Guardado he's a main event badass. I get an Eddie Kingston kind of vibe for him. That's not really what I was going for, but I think it works. And I like the idea of him having some absolutely insane brawls with the likes of Genocide. Now, as a main event heel and having Genocide as an upper mid card heel, Isaiah Guardado's a main event face and having Genocide as an upper mid card heel, I think those matches could be very achievable. Now, in-ring wise, again, Guardado's not the best, but I think in that kind of scenario, he would be serviceable to the company. James Avatar's myself. Kololo Namolu. Now, Kololo Namolu is the authority figure, allegedly. Why is he the authority figure? Why do we have the authority figure in this company? I've got a feeling it's probably because he's the booker. I think he would be the booker normally, and obviously because I've got the role, he's just playing the role as authority figure, so we'll go with that. We'll go with that. It could work, to be fair. He's not the worst on the mic, but there you go. We saw his brother earlier on, obviously, Afartin and Malu. Move on now to Malachi Flex. Now, Malachi Flex, from the ghettos of Baltimore, Maryland, lower mid-carder, 29 years of age, and his stats, he's like almost there in quite a few categories. I mean, the chain wrestling, mat wrestling, aerial, brawling. I mean, if just a little bit of improvements in there, and he starts to look like a much more appealing talent. He's not the most charismatic either. He's a bit of an oddity. I think it would be fair to categorise him as that. But I do like him in the promotion as a gangster. I've got no problem with that. Have to see how he would do long term. We went out to Manny Pastrana. Now I don't know why, but I've always really liked this render that I did. It's quite an old one as well, but I think it stood the test of time for the most part. I mean, I could be wrong. I'll let you guys make any comments if you think otherwise. And he's a tag team worker. He's alright, actually. He's pretty good. 34 years of age, though, so maybe a singles run might not be in his future. I mean, it could be. It could be. It's something to think about. But very good in the tag team division, and as you can see there by the current titles, here's the TGK Tropical Tag Team Champion, alongside Max Thunder, his tag team partner. First, we stop off at Marshall Freeman, a 30-year-old heavyweight, old-school face. He's got brawling stats that you can work with because his microphone and charisma are okay and star quality is not bad. He, I think, is someone who, if Hippolito Colon is your one, this guy is number two in terms of building. I mean, I know he's only a mid-carder, but I see a little bit of potential in him to maybe be in that position or on a similar level at some point. Could be wrong. It depends on his destiny role and what have you. That randomizes every game. But yeah, I think again a project of the company's. Move on now to Max Thunder, one half of the Island Carnage tag team with Manny Pastrana, also one half of the tag team champions. He's not as good in the ring, but he's very much a case of being the muscle for his lighter weight counterpart, and it works. I think without Manny Pastrana, Max Thunder would very, very much struggle in this company. So he better hope that we keep them as a tag team, because I don't see much else that I would do with him, to be quite honest, at least at this point. Papa Garcia, 36-year-old, main event heel, got the gimmick of being a hustler. He's one of my favourite characters in this. His real name is Luis Garcia, but he goes by Papa Garcia. Very much a case of being a leader, and a former TGK TGK Tropical King, but he was toppled by Hippolito Colon, the current champion. And in-ring wise, he's actually got a lot of serviceable stats again, so deserving of his main event position on the roster, and someone that I particularly quite like. Move on now to Rasta Riley, the so-called Rasta Warrior. He's an opener, a wannabe gangster. Quite irritating, I'd imagine. He's, got stats that can, if they improve, he could probably turn into quite an asset for the company. I mean, if you look at the aerial and flashiness, approaching the C territory, so that's worthwhile keeping around, I think. And like I said, 24 years of age. I think he's the youngest member of the roster, so who knows? Who knows? The sky could be the limit for Rasta Riley. Referee Paco Rabanne. And Savio Cruz. Savio Cruz, a very cocky-looking individual. Main event heel. Again, got the hustler gimmick. He's part of a stable with Papa Garcia. I believe they're called the Spider's Nest. His brawling is decent. Again, not much else in the terms of in-ring stats, but I just like the overall package that Savio Cruz brings to the table, and I think I'd always keep him relevant around in the company. Maybe not as a main eventer always, maybe drop him down a little bit to an upper mid-carder, but yeah, I like the characters, definitely. Smoke, we saw his tag team partner Fire earlier. I'll give you a clue what the name of that tag team is, but also got the power and paint gimmick, upper mid-carder, light heavyweight, brawler. Brawling, obviously, is his go-to, if you can see in his stats there, but the basics and psychology and all the mental stats are in the right area. His star quality is pretty good, so again, good to have around in the company. Definitely a great addition to the tag team ranks. Move on now to Star Aguilar, Japanese junior in terms of style. He's a lower mid card face, teen idol, and his again another I'd consider to be a long-term project for the company. Someone I think you could elevate to the main event scene over maybe a year and a half or so, maybe 2 years. So at the age of 29 to be main eventing in this company, I think would be pretty good for him. And you'd want obviously to go towards a kind of style which would be more pleasing in ring, and this is one of the guys on the roster that's ready made to be able to do that in relative short order. So Star Aguilar, one for the future. Move on now to Toby Costello. Now Toby Costello, fun baby face, kind of happy-go-lucky looking guy. Cruiserweight, he's a little bit generic if truth be told, but his stats as far as aerial are quite good. So he's one of those kind of catch-22. Do I keep him or do I not? I think the only fair thing to do would be to give him the opportunity to prove one way or the other. So wouldn't be on the chopping block just yet. Tyree Mosca, he's a cruiserweight worker, lower mid-carder, and again someone that you could kind of elevate up the pecking order because he's got, I think, like the aerial ability to be able to pull it off, and the mental stats are almost there. So someone who should probably be competing in the main event scene within the next 18 months to 2 years, in game terms, that is. So I like the guy, and he is a happy-go-lucky individual, and I do like his bandana and the hair, both on his head and facial hair. It's a good combination. It's a good look. Move on now to Warrior, and that is all he is known as. Machine gimmick, main event face. Not the best in the ring, but I think this is someone that I'd probably look to maybe just drop a little bit down the pecking order to upper mid-carder. He's not that he can't be a main eventer, it's just I don't personally feel it as a main eventer. So we'll have to see, But my favourite render probably in this company is Zulu, Marcus Black. Upper mid-card heel, monster gimmick. Got a kind of bloody scarred face with a lower part metal jaw kind of construction. Looks a little bit insane, not someone I'd want to mess with. 37 years of age, so his best days are most likely behind him. And he's not the best in the ring, but I think he could very much do a job in, obviously, the monster of the company. I think overall, in fact, it's a very good roster. There's a lot of diversity and a lot of different things and directions we could go with what we have at our disposal, and that's before we even bring anyone else in. So I like it a lot. Big heavyweight as well. Okay, so let's have a look at the storylines. I think there is one, and that's the Spider's Nest storyline. The Spider's Nest has been a dominant force in the TGK for years, but they have lost control of the heavyweight championship and are now facing a newly formed alliance dedicated to bringing down the Spider's Nest. The Spider's Nest stands on the edge of a knife. Can they reclaim the title and their position as top dogs of the TGK, or will they crumble under pressure? And the people involved in that are Apollo Kid, Hippolito Colon, Isaiah Guardado, Papa Garcia, Savio Cruz, and Zulu. So quite a nice mix of people there. Let's have a look here. Titles. Again, these title belts are courtesy of Mr. MJ Stark. Thank you very much, sir. Fantastic job as always. And we have a look at the TGK Tropical King, and that is held by Hippolito Colon. Lovely title. And the TGK Tropical Tag Team title is held by Manny Pastrana and Max Thunder. Again, a very nice belt. Now we'll have a look at the tag teams. So we've got Hang Loose, which is Frederick Cool and Tyree Mosca. Island Carnage, the current champions, Manny Pastrana and Max Thunder. Smoke and Fire, and Spider's Nest of Papa Garcia and Savio Cruz. So we've got 4 tag teams there. That's not too bad. Not the greatest selection, or the biggest selection to choose from, but we'll make do with that. Oh, well, I'll have a look at it now because I've clicked on it. Franchise players, Hippolito Colon, Papa Garcia, Warrior, Savio Cruz and Isaiah Guardado. Next big things are none. Hot prospects, we've got a few. Flip Ramirez, Tyree Mosca, Star Aguilar, Frederick Cool and Rasta Riley. Talk the Talk, Hippolito Colon, Warrior, Frederick Cool and Isaiah Guardado. Showstoppers, Papa Garcia and Savio Cruz, so both met, or 2 of the members of the Spider's Nest. Ring Generals, Papa Garcia. Who's hot? No one. Who's not? Star Aguilar, Alan Rochester, Tyree Mosca, Max Thunder and Malachi Flex. Time Decline, no one's on the Time Decline list, that's good. And Hidden Gems are just a selection of some of the people we could bring in if we so desired. Clayton Purdy, Johnny Chase, Cole Lowe, Desmond Jones and El Lobo Blanco. Okay, so that's everything we were going to look at there. I was going to have a look at the stables, even though it's just the Spider's Nest of Papa Garcia, Savio Cruz and Zulu. I thought I'd still want to show you. So, that brings us to the show now. I really don't know where I'm going to go with this, so let's cross our fingers and hope it goes well. That's fine. The Coliseo Cabo Rojo can be the venue. Locker room incidents. Ooh. Toby Costello and Smoke. Interesting. Toby Costello was the focal point of a backstage incident when he first provoked, then attacked Smoke, leading to a fight that had to be broken up by the other workers. Well, okay. Riot Act. Okay, whatever you say. Toby, you're going to be jobbing on this card, I think. You don't piss off the greatest tag team we have. Or one of the members, at least. Could put him in a squash match. Go do that now. Zulu. It's feeding time, my friend. Oh, this is going to suck for Toby. Usually I start with the main event. Nope, this time it's all about crushing Toby Costello. This will go 6 minutes. Yeah, Toby, you're not winning that. Don't get any ideas above your station there. Loser. 2 guesses. Not going to be open. Domination. And pinfall finish. It's a shame we can't have the option of flawless victory, because that's what I would have gone for. Okay. Right, tag teams. I want to. It might be a bold move. But I want the Spider's Nest to take on. No. I want to have a look at the upper echelon workers we have. Warrior could work with Hippolyto Colon, but then again, I'm not putting the tag team titles on the line if I do that. But at the same token, I've used 3 of my main heels. I'm going to have to put Hippolyto Colon in this, and I won't put the main title on the line. Old move. I don't think I've ever done that for a promotion of this size. I think I've always put the title on the line, but I think this will make for a decent main event. Let's see what we're looking at though. 20 minutes. Okay. 22. Victor. Actually, I'll give it to Papa Garcia, and the loser's going to be Warrior. I do want it to be open though. I don't want this to be a squash match as well. And I'll let them decide exactly on how the ending's going to go down. So we'll have another tag team match. And I want to put Island Carnage defending the titles against Hang Loose. And why not? Let's change the titles. I don't often do that in these videos, so we'll change the titles here. 14 minutes. Okay. Give Frederick Call the victory. I'll actually have Manny Pastrana take the loss, but it will be open. I want to go for a bit of a brawl. Hardcore match between Zaya Guardado and Genocide. And I'll let the computer decide that. I'll just set it for 13 minutes. Need to do 27 more minutes. Have a couple of angles later on, but for now I want to put some more matches on the card. Apollo Kid will take on Alan Rochester, maybe. No, Bone. We'll go with Bonesaw. I feel like I need some more faces winning this, so I'll have Apollo Kid take an 11-minute win. Be open though. Save that. This is the temporary order of how I think I'm going to do things. And then one more match, a couple of angles. I think we'll have Smoke and Fire take on a couple random faces. So let's say Marshall Freeman because he's credible, and Christian Swiss. think we need more face tag teams as well in this promotion, so I'll probably look at bringing in someone or creating a tag team out of what I have. I'll let it go 10 minutes. Change, Fire to get the win. Christian Swiss to take the loss. Open match. Happy days. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so add an angle. It's going to be Papa Garcia. Talking about Hipólito Colón, saying he wants his title back. Sounds like fun. I know he's a good talker as well. So not 7 minutes, 6 minutes maybe. Okay, he doesn't want to work with the script, that's fine. I trust you. Okay. That's technically enough to go through, but I'll put one more angle on. Let's see if we do a brawl backstage maybe, actually. And who do I want to use here? Let's say Warrior gets into a brawl with Big Man Zulu backstage. That sets up a match for, you know, another show. And we'll go with that, I think, for a structure. I don't think that's too bad. Quite quickly done, but I'm relatively happy with what I have on the show. It's going to take, how long? 98 minutes. That's alright. Run show. Again, this is just to give you a flavour of the company. Obviously, for diary purposes, I'd go into much greater detail, as you already know. Right, so here are the results from TGK Trouble in Paradise 2015, being held by Tropical Grapple Kingdom. It's being held in front of 2,297 people in Coliseo Cabo Rojo. In a match that had an average crowd reaction and some decent in-ring action, Zulu defeated Toby Costello in 5 minutes and 37 seconds by pinfall with a blood river. I guess a D, that's not bad actually. Okay, in a match that had some good action and average heat, Smoke and Fire... I'm surprised I got a C-. Sorry to interrupt myself there. Sorry me, apparently. Smoke and Fire defeated Marshall Freeman and Christian Swiss in 9 minutes 40 when Fire defeated Christian Swiss by pinfall with an eviscerate. Warrior and Zulu are backstage, an argument breaks out and they start brawling with each other. A host of road agents and staff have to pull them apart. D+, not bad. Well, that's pretty good. In a match that had some good action and average heat, Hang Loose defeated Island Carnage in 14 minutes 27 when Frederick Cool defeated Manny Pastrana by pinfall with the Cool Run-Ins. Hang Loose win the TGK Tropical Tag Team titles. That's good. Frederick Cool and Tyree Mossa have great chemistry together. That's awesome. Although it's only really a one and done kind of deal, but there you go. In a battle that had a good crowd and good action, Apollo Kid defeated Bonesaw in 11 minutes 3 by submission with an Apollo stretch. D+. Oh! What? Okay, language barrier problems. Bollocks. Yeah, I think I'll need to edit that in the data because he should be able to speak Spanish. I will change that. That's fine. Papa Garcia cuts a promo hyping up his upcoming match with the Hipólito Colón. Yeah, that's a shame because that would have been really good otherwise, I think. In a match that had some good action and average heat, Genocide defeated Isaiah Guardado in 30 minutes 28 by pinfall with a criminal intent. And the main event is a very good one, as I was hoping. In a bout that had a good crowd and good action, Spider's Nest defeated Hipólito Colón and Warrior in 21 minutes and 42 seconds when Papa Garcia defeated Warrior by pinfall with a moneymaker. So, fingers crossed. The general feeling is that TGK don't have enough interesting storylines going on. This show lost us popularity in one region. Okay, that's my fault for not setting up enough storylines, but I was just trying to get through this as well as I could for you. I'll amend Papa Garcia's language ability in the data as soon as this video is brought to an end. Anyway, I hope you like the Tropical Grapple Kingdom. I do actually really enjoy this promotion. I think it'd be fun for a long-term game. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I like the feedback that we get from you guys, and obviously I'll communicate back with you and have my thoughts and comments on what you've said. And if you have really liked this video, you can do one better than that. you can actually like it and subscribe. So, like I said, the offer's still there. If we hit 200 subscribers before TEW 2016 is released, I will get a copy for one person, and I will do it through a video. We'll have a contest of sorts. If we hit 500, lofty goals, I know, because we're at 67 at the moment, or 67-ish, I think. Lofty goals, but I believe we can do it. Let's get the ball rolling behind this. And if we hit 500 before TEW 2016 comes out, it will be 2 copies. But I hope you've liked this video, guys. Like I said, if you have liked it, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter if you want. If you want, it's just an idea. It's down there. It's down there in the description there. Just have a scroll down. It's alright, I'll wait. Was it there? I don't know if I put it there. I've put it there. Yeah, we'll go with that. Anyway, until next time, guys, let me know if there's a particular promotion you want me to cover next. Like I said, the choice isn't extensive at the moment. We're down to the last few. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you around.